Guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. We got Frankenstein on the lift. We are still working, trying to get this thing done before LS Fest, but I have to do something about my fuel system. We were having a lot of fuel system issues when we were autocrossing and doing some of the road racing stuff, and fuel starvation really was the biggest one. But we got a little something. Hopefully it fixes it. It's a little, on the budget type friendly. Again, the rest of the car is taking the rest of the budget, so we got to, get cheap a little bit where we can. And hopefully this is maybe a modification that'll help you guys out. I've already got the tank off. Let me show you guys what we're working on. Fuel tank is off, fellas. I got all the lines disconnected, obviously, the wiring, but I want to show you guys, again, what we're going to be doing. But this thing's got some old freaking gas in it. This thing was kind of heavy, sloshing around. It's probably, I would say, almost half a tank full, so we got to drain it real quick. Hopefully this old pump I have still works to try to get some of this gas out, and then we'll pull the fuel top cap off, I should say, the module, whatever you want to call it, the hat. We'll pull that off, and then again, I want to replace the fuel pump as well. So we got a new fuel pump from Aeromotive, or another Hellcat pump. We're going to keep the same pump. That one's been in there for almost 4, maybe even 5 years now. So it was still running. It was still good, but I want to change it while we're here, and we'll put new gaskets and seals as well. We might as well. We got the tank off, and then we'll also do that little modification that we're going to hopefully, cross our fingers, helps us out. But let's go ahead and drain this tank real quick. And I think we got most of the fuel out of there, probably 98% of that stuff, but it should be good enough. But the problem I'm seeing, fellas, that this tank is made with like two different baffles. It's got a baffle that kind of follows this curvature right here, and there's a pocket right there. So it's like it's like a closed off baffle where the fuel pump sits at. And then there's a tube that runs from the outside of the tank in this over here, and it kind of wraps around and it dumps the fuel in there. But what the problem that I'm seeing is that, and another reason why probably this thing's not a great tank, is that this tank, the tube itself, the pickup tube, is actually about maybe a ½ an inch from the actual bottom of the tank. So if the fuel is not above that, it'll never get fuel to that area, which sucks, but it is what it is. But what I'm going to try to do is somehow stuff this stuff inside and try to create, obviously it'll help with the fuel sloshing for sure, but there's also another baffle that kind of runs like this all the way across the tank back here, and kind of keeps the fuel from, I guess, going forward. But let's see what happens. Again, this might not even work. Look at that, fellas. So this is courtesy of Summit. These little foam fuel insulation. It looks like the company, is it AIL, I think it is called. They do make fuel tanks, but this is what basically goes in a fuel cell. This is the stuff that goes in a fuel cell, and is designed so obviously when the fuel hits it, it retains the fuel and then it just drains it back down. So we're going to try this, but you can see the difference in, yeah, that's not going to work. I guess we can try to cut this down. I'm going to try to cut it down and just start jamming it in there and try to take up as much footage, square footage, I guess, and see what we can fit in there. And then hopefully this helps the fuel basically from sloshing around and maintain it down low. So let me cut a couple pieces and see what happens. All right, fellas, so I kind of cut it down a little bit, took some scissors and kind of try to make these french fry looking things, and see if we can just kind of squeeze them down in there and see if that's enough to actually get them in there and go from there. It's kind of working. And then hopefully we can just kind of push them down in there and have them take up some of that real estate in there. Kind of worked. But I'm wondering if actually would be better is if I cut them down smaller, like little blocks almost, and then just that way they can actually fall in through the rest of the tank. So I think we're going to cut them down shorter a little bit. So let's go take a couple of these and cut them down. We're going to try this guy here and see if this will work a little bit better. See if this will... We got a couple more big pieces, but I don't know if we're going to be able to fit all this in here. So let's take what we got and see how many we can actually put in there. But this will definitely give us a better shot to getting these in there now that we can actually squeeze them down through that hole. So let's go ahead and take our SpongeBob SquarePants and throw them in the tank.
Floor it?
Yes. No, no, don't floor it.
Floor it?
No, 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 don't floor it.
Okay, floor it!
No, 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 no.
All the SpongeBobs are gone, fellas. We jammed them all in there. We got a lot in there, quite a bit. Definitely took some work trying to like make them to move over there, because again, you guys kind of this whole baffle right here. I should actually say starts like right here and it goes that way, and it just doesn't allow us to kind of move in that area. So again, we took something to just kind of jam it and wedge them down there that way, and then obviously we bounce the tank around a little bit to try to get them to move around and try to maximize the area. We also went through the other side as well. We went and put some on that side as well, just to have a couple extra. But let me see if I can bring you guys in there. And you see them in there? Kind of focus. It's hard to see them, boys, but yeah, they're in there. We got them in there pretty good. Hopefully that works. I don't know. You guys, what do you guys think? You think this is gonna work? Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it helps with the sloshing. But let me put the new fuel pump on and try to put this thing back together. All right, you guys, we got the new fuel pump set up with the new Aeromotive Hellcat pump. I really try to stick with the name brand stuff, guys, with the fuel pumps. Aeromotive for the win, because this one was also an Aeromotive one, but I really don't trust the Chinese stuff. You can see America right there. So new fuel pump, new strainer, ready to go. Put a new connector on this thing so we can drop this thing in. And these things are always a pain in the ass because they're thick, boy. These things are thick right here. So drop her in like so. Oh no, whoa, no. Look what's there. Oh, baby. Yep, almost forgot our fresh gasket. Damn, that would have sucked. That would have sucked. Yeah, I definitely want to put new gaskets, O-rings. We got a new O-ring kit also for the bolts, because you don't want to do this twice, just like I almost did. Put the new gasket on there. Yeah, that was a mistake. Also, keep in mind, when you guys do the gaskets, they got two different gaskets usually. If you guys are running a similar style hat like this, they got the cork one and then they got the rubber one. The rubber one is the way to go, let me tell you. The cork ones, they leak. Not to mention, they are not good. They're not rated for E85. So we're gonna be running E85. So don't go the cork way. The cork sucks. All right, that should be good to go. Obviously we got to hook everything back up, but I got to redo all the fuel lines. I'm redoing them because they're old, brittle. I don't trust them. Last thing I want to do is have a leak after putting everything back on. But I think next time for sure, fellas, we're definitely going to go fuel cell, but we don't have time right now to change all that out. Not to mention balling on the budget right now. So Hopefully this holds us over. Definitely fuel cell next time for sure, to prevent the fuel starvation, because I'm almost thinking that also was part of our problem. There was a few times where that motor definitely was not happy because it didn't have enough fuel. But we got to put this thing back on. Gas tank is in, boys. She is ready. We do got to get a new filler neck hose adapter here, because I noticed the other one was all just dry rotted and cracked and everything, so I got to get a new one of that. But at least the tank is in. Now again, we got a lot of work to do. So well, you guys, I think that's gonna do it, because there's a lot of work to do still there. But if you guys are interested in that foam, I will link down in the description below. I'll put a link down there to Summit if you guys are interested. Again, I don't know if it's gonna work. Let me know what you guys think. You think it's gonna work? Definitely, I think next time smaller pieces so we can get them through there. But obviously it's not ideal. It's not something that was meant for it. So, but hey, hopefully it works. Hopefully it helps us out. But do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell for notification. You guys already know. Stay wrenching.